Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Sunday, the 16th of November. After rug pulls for November so far, one down to around the 66.30 level, and the other one 66.46 on Friday. We may have had our at least near-term fill of support testing. Obviously, we were much higher towards the 7,000 zone at the end of last month. Current view is that there is hopefully a strong wall of support towards 66.50 and below that the 65.50 area. So whether it's one or the other, we're still maintaining the uptrend or the recovery that we've seen since April. We've also got the situation that in the recent past the RSI has bottomed out in the upper 40s, so that also ties in with what we've seen on Friday. At least while there's no end of day close back below the 50-day moving average, that's currently around the just below current levels, so around 67.04. We are looking for at least a rebound back to the main 68.80 zone resistance. On to the Nasdaq, and here the picture looks it reflects what we're seeing at the S&P. So another test of the floor of that channel there, the black line there, currently around 24,700. Above that and above the 50-day moving average, we're looking for a return to the best levels that we've seen, record highs 26,000 plus, with a 27,000 handle potentially on the cards for the end of the year, the end of next month. That is provided by a late January resistance line projection. The other point to note, as in the case of the S&P, that we've had since August the RSI bouncing or flattening out with support in the upper 40s, and that's where we are at the moment. If there is a rug pull, then 24,000 would be the zone, and that would take us back to where we were in September, but this still looks strong. Moving on to the stocks, and a repeat of the first one, Apollomics, and here we managed to hit our third target there, the lilac line there towards $36, and came back to the first target actually with only $13. Now we're back above the second one, which is $21, and looking for 35 again, hopefully by the end of the year. 50-day and 200-day moving averages both rising well at the moment. So after that kind of retracement, of horrific retracement, it looks as though we're back on our way. Next on the list is Apimeds, and here a bit of excitement in the sense that we've got an RSI 50 rebound. We bounced above a rising 50-day line. That's currently around the $2 area, but the excitement at the end of last week was that we found support at and above the 200-day moving average at $2.78, and we're looking at the top of that rising trend channel base as high as $4 by the end of this month. Ideally, we stay on the right side at $3 while we're trying to do all that. On to a situation called Anbio, and here another 200-day line situation, rising 200-day line there. Support above that at $22.73 in the recent past. Initial target, the 50-day line, just above $30. Hoping for $40 by the end of next month while we're above the 200-day moving average. And you can see the RSI just nudged above the neutral 50 level. Very happy with the next one, which is the Cypherpunk, Cypherpunk, in fact. And here you can see that managed to blow the lights out on those two targets that we had previously. So one, the black line there around 57 cents, and the other one around 87 cents. The shares rapidly progressed to the post-December last year resistance, $3.50. And the view now is that we can stay above the midweek resistance there, which was around $2.54 on an end-of-day close basis. We could still get up to $3.50 again by the end of this month. Moving along to CIM, and here it's a case of interesting gap higher that we had during the week, gap up and down, so a very volatile situation, which is obviously all the more exciting. The interest at the moment is that we're back above the 200-day line at $8.47. Above that, we're looking to the top of that rising trend channel base at $14 by the end of this month. Beautiful RSI 50 plus rebound, and also a nice bounce off a rising 50-day line after the bear trap gap reversal. We've looked at the next stock quite a few times, so it's Cycurian, and here Current position is that we're in a falling trend channel. You could argue that the top of the channel is either towards $9 or a wider band towards 12. But either way, with the excitement here, if we can get it, would be that we stay above, or we manage to get an end of day goes above the 50-day line there, around $6.60, and that takes us up to $12 by the end of the year. So quite a simple scenario there. Recent resistance around 515, and so we'd like to stay above that particular 510. Like to stay above that as we try and get up to $12 on Cycurian. A nice setup coming up in the, well, most of the setups are good, but decent. And here you can see that it looks like we're going into a bull flag near the top of that triangle there, so near the $2 target that we've got there, and looking for that at least while we're on the right side of $1.60. Time frame on that, obviously looking for that by the end of this month. We've looked at the following stock quite a few times as well, Ironwood, and here the excitement is that we managed to hit our first target there at $2.80, at the top of the April rising trend channel. We've had probably a record number of RSI 50 rebounds on this situation, especially if you assume that basically all of that started at the end of June. So that shows a very strong trend. It's also a bear trap island reversal, so we gapped down in January and gapped up now. It tends to be a very strong formation. Above $2.80, looking for $4.50 by the end of the year, despite the sell-off on, or the retracement that we saw on Friday. On to another situation which we've looked at very recently, which is Ridgetech, and here, hoping for a bull flag here. That would be basically finding support at the second target here, the $3.80 level above that, looking for $5 by the end of this month. So quite a decent risk reward there. Ideally, we stay on the right side of $3.60, as that has been end of the week resistance for the shares. Next up is a situation which, if I can type out the EPIC code or the ticker code properly, we have Relmada, and here you can see that we're on our third target there at $3.95. $3.75 rather, the share price at $3.95. Above that, looking for a fourth target, $5.20, as the great turnaround here starts. You can see that in the recent past, we found support above the top of that December gap there, around $2.75. So hopefully, at least that will remain the case. Finishing off with Spruce, and here, massive spike to the upside. Rising trend channel there from, if I can get the chart back, from back in May. Top of the channel there, heading for $6.50. We're looking at that while we're above recent support, i.e. the Thursday support around $4.50. You can see there have been several RSI 50 zone rebounds in the recent past, and the last one obviously gave us the big move to the upside. 50 and 200 day both rising, and so therefore 650 hopefully quite well locked in for the end of this month. That's it for me today. More updates during the week.